Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Shilpa Data Insights. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So we are continuing with the Python playlist. So in this playlist we have already covered the Python variables. What are variables, how to declare them, what are the limitations to declare the variables, and then we also have covered about the input. So how you can take user input and then do the manipulation and share the details with the user. So we also have seen how to use the print statement. In this video, we are going to talk about the Boolean function. So we will talk about what are the values of Boolean, what is the Boolean expression, and so on. So without any delay, let's get started with today's video related to Boolean. So in the Boolean function, we have two values. First value is true and the second value is false. So true and false are called the Boolean values. So the next thing that we will be learning is the expression. In the expression, there are multiple ways in order to define the expression. So the first one we will study is about any. Then we will study about all, and then we will also study about is instance. Then we have the comparison. In the comparison, if you remember in your math classes in 10, 11 and 12 standard, then we have different comparison method. So for example, 1 is equal to 1. Then you have 2 is equal to 1, 2 is not equal to 1, 2 is greater than 1, 2 is less than 1, 2 is greater than equal to 1, 2 is less than equal to 1. So all of this will give you some output. It will be either true or it will be false. It means 1 is equal to 1. So what it is going to return me? It is going to return me true. 2 is equal to 1. It will return me false. 2 is not equal to 1. So it will return me true. 2 is greater than 1. It will return me true. 2 is less than 1. It will return me false. 2 is greater than equal to 1. It will return me false. 2 is less than equal to 1. It will return me false. So if you will see, there are three things that we have. First is our Boolean expression, that is true or false. Second is how the expression is defined, that is any, all and instance. And with the help of the comparison, also you get the output as true and false. So now let's think about the first condition, that is true. If we are going to print this particular true, so if we are going to do print and then true, what it is going to return me? It is going to return me true. And if I do print false, what it is going to return me? It is going to return me false. And what will be the data type of this? The data type of this will be Boolean. But let's say if I do a quote, inside the quote I write true, then it will give me the output true itself, but the data type of this will be a string. We will go ahead and discuss more about string functionality in the next video. But for now, if you think about, if anything we are writing it inside the quotes, it is converted into a string format. It's not a Boolean. So you cannot do any kind of manipulation which is there inside the Boolean. You can only do the manipulation which is inside the string if it is a string function. So let's go to our notebook and see how exactly we are going to resolve the string to Boolean and Boolean to string, and what all values, how we can declare what is the data type, what is the expression. So let's go into our Visual Studio Code. So now let's first print true. So this will be a print statement which will return us true. So if you will see, this print is hello that I returned, and then we have the print true. So this is my true. Now let's print false. It will go ahead and print the false. So if you will see now, if if I write small letter in it, it is showing me a red underline in it, and it's not detecting it. The color is white. But if I write it in capital, that is the uppercase F, then it is showing me false. So this is my Boolean data type. If you have to write anything which is Boolean data type, you have to make sure the first letter of the word true or false should be in uppercase. Okay, so here you see the output is true and false. The true value of the Boolean type is the assignment of true, and it will give you the result as true. Now let's see what is the data type of this. So I'll just write print. How will you check the data type? I've told you already, using the type keyword. The type will help you knowing what is the type of that particular keyword that you are passing inside it. So I'm doing print type of true. Now you will see it is class Boolean, right? Now if in case I will go ahead and put a quotation inside this true, and now I will write what is my data type of this print true. You see the print of the type true is now class string. Earlier it was false. It was the Boolean data type. Okay, let me show you in this. In this print false, I'll just write print type of false. So this should give me the Boolean data type, the false, and for the true, it should give me the string data type. So see, the first one is giving Boolean and the second one is the string data type. Now you understand how you can differentiate between a string data type and a Boolean data type. Now if I go ahead and write, let's say print hello. So what is the data type of this? This is a string data type, right? So let me do a print hello. It is true. Now let me convert this to Boolean data type. It was a string data type. Now I want to convert this to a Boolean data type. If I convert this to a Boolean data type, then what you see, it is true. So let me just put a statement like this so that you know what exactly we are doing. See, this is true. So if we are converting a string into a Boolean, then it is converting into true. But let's say if I just go ahead and do a print, and inside the Boolean, I am not passing anything. I am passing a blank space. What it should return, what data type it should return. It is a Boolean data type because I am converting, but what should be the output? It should be true or it should be false. It should be true because we are passing a blank space here, right? Now, if in case I am going ahead and not passing anything inside this, now what should be my data type? It is false because there is nothing inside this. So therefore it is a false. So you have to make sure if you want to go ahead and convert it into a Boolean data type, if there is a string inside it, then it gives you true. But if there is nothing inside the string, then it will give you false. Now in this print, I will convert, let's say, a numeric value 1, 2 and 3 into a Boolean data type. Now let me just do here numeric. Okay, so that you understand that we are doing the numeric value right now. So you see the Boolean of 1, 2, 3 is true. Now if you convert it into string, what should be the result? It should be true, right? So it is true. So for numeric as well, if you are converting a number into a Boolean, it is giving you the true result. Now these three are very important. Now in number there are two other numbers. One is 0, another is 1. Now if I go ahead and do a print and I convert the 0 to a Boolean, then what should be my result? You see, the result is false. Why? Because 0 is treated as false in Boolean and 1 is treated as true. So if I show you, Boolean of 1 is what? Boolean of 1 is true. So it means 0 is treated as false and 1 is treated as true, right? So now you understand what is true, what is false. If you are passing a string in it, then it is true. If you are not passing anything, it is false. Now you might be aware of a none type, right? So if you do print of none and convert it into Boolean, what it should show me the result. So I'll pass this here none. So here it says false because I'm passing here a value. There is no value inside it. So therefore it is treated as false, right? Now, as we were discussing, we will also see one more type here. These are the values that you are getting. Now we will see about any, all, and is instance. Okay. So what is any? Any, if there are two values, if there is a true and there is, let's say, 0, then what will be the output for any and what will be the output for all? So if I do print and write any here, I will type true and I will type 0. And let me run this file. It's giving me an error because it allows exactly one argument. So let's solve this. So what is the mistake here? As it is asking you any one argument, because it cannot have two arguments. Here there are two arguments. So what you can do is you can wrap it up into a list. We will also discuss what is a list. It's basically an iterable. So it will first check true and then 0. Any means if any one of them is true, it is going to return the value true. If any one is false, it is going to return true. What it means is here you have true and here you have 0. 0 means what? False. And true and false is true because any of the value is true, it will give you the true value itself. So if I run this now, you see it has the true value. Now if I go ahead and do an all here, it is going to give me false because all the values should be true, then only it is going to return me true. Otherwise it's going to return me false here. Now let's say I will add one more value to it, that is ABC. Okay, now let's say in this all there is true, this is false, and this is also true. Now what it should return? There are two trues but one false. So all the values are not true. So still it will show me the false value, right? Now if I do an any here, it is going to return me still true because two values are true here. Now let me remove this and put it 1. 1 means true. Now any of the value is true? Yes. This is first value is true, second value is true, and the third value is also true because string is there. There is data inside it. So we are getting true. Now let's say if I do an all here, what it should return? It should return me true because all the values are true here, right? Now you understand how we are using any and all. Let's see a use case for this particular thing. So let's say we have an email address, okay, abc@gmail.com, and I will wrap it up in a string because this is a string. Then I will have, let's say, phone number, which is, I will put it as 910198, whatever number I'm putting, right? Now, then I have, let's say, the password. In the password, I am writing ABC123. Okay. Now I will use the same thing, that is print. Inside this print, I will use any. Inside the any, I will pass all the values, that is email, then I have phone, and then I have password, right? And I will use the same thing for my all functionality, and let's see what is the result. So I'll just use print get values for all and any. Okay, now you will see all the values are there in email, phone and password. So what will be the value in any? All of them are true. This is true, this is true, and this is true. So any will also give you true, and all means all of them are true, so it will also give you true. See, both of them are true. Now, let's say I will go ahead and put my password blank, right? So if I put my password blank, any will give me true, but all will give me false. So the use case will be here, if I am creating a website, either I will need an email address or I will need a phone number, but I will definitely need a password, right? So if I have one of them, the email and the phone number, that it works, but that it will give me true. But if I have the password, it will not give me true. So let me put the phone number here blank and let me give the password. Okay, so this is the use case. In this, email and password is there, any of them is there, which is true, but all of them is not there, which is false. So that is the use case. In case if you want all the items to be there in order to log in, then use the all. If you need only two functionality, let's say email and password, just mention those two, email and password, remove the phone, and if both of them, any of them is true, then you go ahead and use it in order to log in to your website. So this is how you can use any and all. So let's go ahead with the is instance functionality. So I'll do a print. I'll use is instance. In the is instance, I'll see whether my email, let's see, in the is instance, what it takes. It takes an object, it takes a class or tuple, right? So in the is instance, I will mention my email. So what is my email? Whether it is a string or not. So let's go ahead and execute this. So if you will see print is instance email, email is string, right? I have mentioned here string. So email is a string, so it is giving me true. But if I mention here, let's say I am mentioning my phone number 123 and I am mentioning here 4, whether it is a string, no, it is a integer, so it's giving me false. Now let's say in the phone number, let me remove the string and see whether it's an integer, then it is giving me true, right? So the functionality of is instance is to see what is the data type. It is used for validation, whether the phone number is an integer or not, whether we have not messed up the data by putting any characters inside it, and whether we have used the password, which is like alphanumeric. We will study about the alphanumeric in the numeric chapter as well for that. So this is how you can go ahead and use the Boolean functionality. So what we learned is, first thing that we learned is print hello statement. Then we learned the values, how to check the data type of the Boolean. And then we checked how exactly to convert a string to Boolean. And if in case we are not passing any value, what will be the Boolean, whether it will be true or false, what is the value of 0 and 1 in terms of Boolean, what is the value of none in terms of Boolean, what is the difference between an any, all functionality and when to use what, and what is the functionality of is instance. I hope you have understood this particular thing. Now the next thing comes is the comparison operator. In the comparison operator, let me write it down. In the comparison operator, what we have? You have equal to, you have not equal to, you have greater than, then you have less than, and so on, right? So if I talk about few of the comparison operator, if I do print and then let's say 1 is equal to 2, then it should return me false, right? So let me do a print statement here just to help you understand the previous part. Okay. Now, in the comparison, you see 1 is equal to 2. No, it is false. Now, if I do 1 is not equal to 2, it should return me true. Now, if I see 1 is less than equal to 2, it should return me true. And 1 is greater than equal to 2, it should return me false. So this is used when you are doing some comparison and using the if-else condition, you are executing some other statement. You are just not using 1 is equal to 2, 1 greater than 2, 1 less than 2 and so on. But you are, after that, you are checking using the if operator, and then using if condition, once you check it, you perform some activity after that, right? Or you just return out the result. So now let's see also one more thing. 1, let's say I will do 1 here, equal to 1. So this is a string, right? What should it return? It should return true, right? Because 1 is equal to 1. Now if I do 1, 2, now it should return me false because 12 is not equal to 1, and though it is in the string format. Now if I have to compare this, now tell me what should be the result. 1 is greater than 1, but both of them are in string format. It is false because it is not recognizing it. It's 1 is equal to 1. It's not an integer, right? So if I just do 1 is not greater than equal to 1, it should return me true, right? So this is how you can also do it as a string operator. Let's take one more example as name. So name is equal to name. So the actual operation is with string is equal to or not equal to. So name is equal to name. Yes, it's true. If I do name is not equal to name, what should be the result? It's false. So by looking at it, you know, but how to code it in a computer language, this is how you do it so that the computer understands and then it converts and then it gives you the result back. And after that, you can do your operations using the if, else, whatever statements you are looking for. So this was the whole about the Boolean expression that we have covered it in very much detail. You don't have to go into any other website to learn about this. This is the fundamentals that is required for Boolean. Now the next that we will be covering is about the numeric. So numeric means the numbers like integer, float, complex type, their methods, how you can use it, what is the use cases of it, and so on. So we will go ahead and discuss that the next session. So till then, watch the previous video as well if you have not watched, related to Python variables and how you can input the parameters from the user. So till the next video, stay tuned and make sure to hit the like, subscribe and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching and I wish you have a good day.